Today on the channel, Todd from the couch better make some room as he's got two guests to join him in the Mondo exclusive Beavis and Butthead.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Mondo Toys unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got something I absolutely totally forgot I ordered. Don't even know if I ordered this like 6 months ago or so. What is time is we got the Mondo Toys Beavis and Butthead. But for all your Mondo needs, better head to Mondo. But for everything else under the sun, hit up jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. Got to get a deal out there. Now, this is the timed edition. There is a regular edition of this one, if I'm not mistaken. I am not for certain if Jay's and others bought that one. I guess we'll find out in the future. But I did apparently pick this up. I remember ordering it, but I've honestly totally forgot what's inside here. I don't even really remember what it looks like. It was just one of those FOMO purchases where I wanted representation of Beavis and Butthead in my collection. And I thought this would be a good one, as Mondo historically does pretty nice stuff. Kind of one of those set it and forget it type things, and be nicely displayed, and something that reminds me of my past. Of course, Beavis and Butthead came out when I was about in 4th grade. They got their own series when I was in 5th grade, and you can imagine a 5th grader absolutely loving Beavis and Butthead. And I remember when it first came out, I think Monday nights at like 6:30 my time was where the new episodes were. And it was appointment viewing for me and my dad. And my dad would just laugh at Beavis and Butthead, and I loved it as well. So it was something we used to watch back in the day. And you really never seen anything quite like Beavis and Butthead. They really changed the game in a lot of ways. They kind of took like The Simpsons, where a lot of people thought The Simpsons were just the worst thing ever, which was just ridiculous back in the day. And I was a Simpsons fan way back from the Tracy Ullman show when I was a little kid. But people thought The Simpsons were terrible. Beavis and Butthead took it to another level. And then we saw South Park take it to another level after that. And now it's just the Wild Wild West, as we know, but truly groundbreaking. And if you're not checking out the new episodes, I believe Comedy Central has them, Paramount, all that kind of stuff. I absolutely love the new Beavis and Butthead. I especially love older Beavis and Butthead. I enjoy that more than the episodes where they do younger Beavis and Butthead. So Beavis and Butthead been around a long time. Start, stops, figures of the past, figures now. Just a very cool thing, very big in pulp culture history. There's no doubt about it. And happy to have representation here with these figures set. But of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. As usual, I do save my packaging on these Mondo figures. If I ever want to resell them by chance, you can always get a little bit more value out of the package. And the packaging is always first class, as is this one. You got the beautiful images there, of course. It feels like the show's just getting ready to start. Looks like a TV in the style of Mike Judge in the animation. Looking very nice there. Beavis and Butthead, Mike Judge, Beavis and Butthead on the top as well. And then on the back of the TV set, you get some of the stuff going on, the little stickers. Just like TV sets of old, Hector RC, Jordan Christensen, Michael Bonanno, Vivian Kosika, Alex Brewer, Maria and Cheta, some of the people that worked on this. It says 2025 Viacom. 14 and up on this one. You 13-year-olds don't even think about it. Don't even think about it, but we're going to get it out of the package. We're going to find out what the fuss is all about. And like I said, I don't even remember what's all in here. It's been so long. I've totally forgot about it. Oh my gosh. We got Beavis, we got Butthead, we got a couch, we got extra heads and accessories. Do we actually have 2 figures here? Oh no, almost. It almost looks like you can make 2 figures, but not quite. Not quite there. But as you can imagine, I'm going to take this offline, get all this out of the package. We'll be back talking Mondo, Beavis, and Butthead. All right, we got Beavis and Butthead out of the package. Let's dive in. It's kind of fun to look at this with fresh eyes, as I basically forgot, like I said, all about this one. So we got a lot of accessories here, and at first glance, a lot of stuff I like. One thing I for sure do not like, but let's dive into it. Let's dive into the accessories first. 2 stands here. Love, always appreciate a stand. Clear stand, Mondo logo on it. Looking good. You want these guys to be secure, as these are expensive figures, over $200 nearing at 3 with Tarif's Todd McFarlane and shipping. So a very pricey set, as we know, typical of the Mondo stuff. The hits keep on coming here. We're going to go through the accessories first, then we'll dive into the figures, as I said. We get the old Frog Baseball, one of the early episodes, and one that kind of started everybody against Beavis and Butthead. You know, them using a frog as a baseball, probably not the best thing you could possibly do. I'm sure somewhere out there, some little kid, some dumb kid probably reenacted that. But guess what? I was a dumb kid back there in 4th and 5th grade. I never reenacted this. I didn't have any buddies that did. And I lived in the class of 1984. That's what my school was like. So if anybody was going to do it, it was going to be them hellions on the old playground. Never happened. So people making a mountain out of a molehill. Yeah, it's not good to it, but it's a cartoon at the end of the day. But it is the baseball bat here with the frog on there. A very specific episode, a very memorable episode of Beavis and Butthead. We got some toilet paper, some TP for my bunghole, maybe, for, of course, the great Cornholio. You got to have that along the way. Looking good. Looks to be 2-ply even, so shout out to them. Real ones. We do get the remote. Got to have that. They were always watching music videos there. We always remember that. And it was such a big deal as a kid, a little young metalhead, seeing bands you liked on Beavis and Butthead. It was always awesome. I remember a lot of kids like myself, that was the first time you ever found out about some bands. That was the first time I ever heard Helloween. I love Helloween to this day. Seen them in concert a few times. That was the first time I ever saw Helloween. I never saw them before that. And it introduced a lot of new bands to people like myself. Faith No More was my favorite band when I was in 4th grade. Still one of my favorite bands of all time. Really the band that was my gateway into heavy metal fandom. And I remember when they did Faith No More, The Real Thing, or Faith No More, I think they did Falling to Pieces and Epic. I believe they did both of them there. But I remember that was such a big deal for me as a kid, being like, oh, Faith No More is on Beavis and Butthead. I thought that was the coolest thing. So we get the remote there looking very nice. Got to have some nachos, you know, just like myself. I love a good nacho, as does Beavis and Butthead. So they're iconic snack. And then we got a little lighter, all very controversial here. You know, the little pyros as well. We do get the little match here, or the Zippo lighter right here. So we're ready to go with those. Diving into some of the bigger accessories here, you can't have it without the couch, a very cool couch, a very big couch, though I will say. And this got a decent weight to it. I thought this would be like hollow inside. It is a very weighty couch here, so I like the looks of that. You could use this with other toy lines if you want to. I guess I got Howard Finkel right here from WWE Elite line. You can kind of see how this would compare to an Elite figure. I don't know why you would want to use a couch for them, but that actually works pretty good. So if for some reason you need a couch, you need Todd McFarlane over here on the couch, Todd? Maybe, but you got some opportunities with that if you want to. If you're not going to use this set with the couch, you could use this for a different toy line if that's your thing. Looking pretty good. Got the tears in it. Got the dents where they sit all the time, which is twofold. It's funny because they sit there all the time, but it also makes them sit a little bit more secure on here. So very, very cool. Love that. Love to see that with this set. And then you got to have the TV. How could you not have a TV? You got the rabbit ears up top, and then the extra attention to detail here. You do got the wire coat hanger, the wire hanger where you bend it and move it. Man, that's old time. That's almost before my time as well. But I do remember friends' houses. And I remember one time in my room, I had an old TV and I was playing around with it, trying to get signals and stuff. I had rabbit ears, and I even tried that to get some crazy local stations. And it would always be like a Hispanic like music channel would come in. I don't know if it was a radio station, but you could like move it around. It was kind of a simpler time. It was almost like a CB radio. You never knew what you were going to come across. I remember there was a station called like The Box Music Videos that I remember at my grandma's, messed around with a hanger trying to get into there. And that came up, which is pretty cool because they didn't have MTV where my grandma lived as a kid. So that was how you could see some music videos. And they always played Fleetwood Mac, just what every 4th grader wants to hear. But this TV looking very cool. Once again, a TV you could use with other toy lines if you wanted to. And even better, you get these inserts here, which you can put right in the front. So you can have Beavis and Butthead on the couch watching something. They could watch their own show. Very meta, of course. They could watch their own show. You also got an MTV logo that says, "This sucks," which I think a lot of people would say about MTV for the last couple of decades. It's funny as more people probably know MTV from not playing music videos than music videos. I bet they played no music videos longer than they actually played music videos at this time. Straight up MTV logo if you need that there. And then you get kind of the fuzz. Obviously, we've all seen that on TVs a time or two. And then we got Daria. Oh, another Mike Judge show. You can watch Daria. I was never a big Daria guy. I watched it, and back then you kind of watched everything, but it was no Beavis and Butthead for me. Maybe it was more for females. I'm not exactly sure. But a lot of accessories there. Now we're going to dive into the main characters here. We got a lot of stuff. Now, these figures are a bit different from what we're definitely used to with Mondo figures, especially size-wise and just articulation-wise. These aren't like your Mattel Elites, once again. We're going to dive into the head sculpts for Beavis first. We're going to go alphabetical order is what we're going to do. Looks like Beavis. I think anybody hands you this head sculpt, you know exactly who this is. I used to work with a guy that looked identical to Beavis. It was one of the wildest things, except he had black hair instead of blue hair. Blue hair, blonde hair. You know what I meant. 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth. Got that big grin there. Got the teeth showing. Got that high hair. Looks like Beavis. Second head, he's headbanging. He's rocking out right here. Got the hair blowing in the wind, and he's just ready to go. Ready to party is what he's ready to do. How hard are these heads to replace? There we go. Plug and play pretty easily. Yeah, just plug and play very easily. So we got that. So we got Beavis extra head. And then you can take it a step further here. You can go straight up the Great Cornholio. He's got his shirt up over the top there, looking very good. Arms do bend on here. So we got that articulation. So you can turn him into Cornholio if you want to. Same thing, plugs at the waist if you need. And then we're diving into the figure here. We got the Death Rock shirt. Absolutely hate that. Absolutely hate that. I understand it. At the end of the day, it's about licensing. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into it, but we always saw Beavis and Butthead on the show with Metallica AC/DC shirts, which is spot on. That worked for me. But then you'd see Death Rock and Skull on any kind of like t-shirts, marketing, action figures, and it all does come down to the licensing to get AC/DC Metallica's name. Not sure why they did it on the TV, but not other things. That's probably just cost. Follow the money at the end of the day. But it is disappointing here. When I think of Beavis and Butthead, I think of Metallica and AC/DC. I don't think of Skull and Death Rock. I'm sure I could cover it up if I wanted to, but it does kind of just, I don't like it, but it is something you've seen a lot in media over the years. So it makes sense, but I'm just not a fan of it. I think most people would agree with that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to money, as we know. Now, articulation on this guy, we did see the head removable back, forth, side to side. Arms go all the way around for us. No waist, no legs, no nothing. So what you see is what you get here. You got the shorts, got the legs, got the socks, got the black shoes. Like I said, what you see is what you get. Is it going to fit on a ringside stand? Using code Kyle. Save 10% at Mondo. No. There it is. Fitting on stand there. Mondo stand. Looks good. You obviously want to protect these guys. You want to have them protected on these stands. That works for me here. Now, diving into this a little bit more, we do got some extra hands here. We got some splayed out hands. These are going to hold those accessories we went through. The Cornholio can hold the TP. You get the baseball bat. You get all of that. We also got two where he's got the Fist of Fury ready to go. So I don't know if he's going to throw down with somebody or what, but we got options of that as well. And then the gripping hand for the remote if you need that. Now we do get the body piece here, the lower body, so they can sit on the couch. You plug and play. A bit of a 2-in-1. And the cool thing about Beavis here is since you get the whole Cornholio, whole caboodle here, you can plug that in here. You can plug it in here. You can choose your own adventure. You basically have 2 Beavis figures of this set, which is absolutely phenomenal. It feels better, the value. And honestly, I want to display one set on the couch and one set standing there. You have that opportunity with Beavis right here. So we love to see that. Unfortunately, this is the biggest miss of this set by far. You got Butthead here, but you can't do the same. You have 2 Beavises, but only 1 Butthead. That just really sucks. Would have been nice to get 2 versions of Butthead, the same thing. Wouldn't have been that more expensive for him, and it would have made the customer feel a lot better. Now it feels a little unfinished here. So that is my biggest gripe by far, that we get 2 Beavises, but we only get 1 Butthead. Very, very disappointing if you ask me. But we do get an extra head for Butthead, but not really, since we got 3 heads here, 3 heads here. Is what it is. But we got Butthead out of the package. Butthead looking like Butthead. Got those braces, got the nose, 2 eyes, 2 ears, a mouth, playing all those hits. Looks like Butthead. There's no mistake in it for anybody else, as we said. Second head, we got headbanging head here. It's going to match the Beavis. That makes a lot of sense. You got to have that. You always got to match the Beavis, as we know. So we have that. And then the third head here is where he's like getting ready to blow chunks, is what it looks like there. So I don't know. I'm very disappointed. I would have thrown away this head probably. Get rid of this head and then give us another set of body for him, so we could have made 2 versions. That's what I would have really liked to have seen. Just very unfortunate. Very unfortunate there. It just feels like a huge miss to me. Now, you do get the lower half once again. You get the red shorts. You get the same kind of socks going on. Obviously, you get the most out of your molds. Same body, just painted different between these 2. Makes sense, I guess. Same thing with some of the arms and stuff. Articulation the same between them both as well. Butthead has some interesting hands here. He's throwing up the horns like a young Ronnie James Dio. He's rocking out. We got a Fist of Fury here. Get a gripping hand for the remote or the lighter. Ooh, looks like we got a little nacho eating hand. So you have him holding the nachos and eating some of these. You can do that if you want to. And we got some splayed out hands as well. So choose your own adventure. There's a lot of different combinations between this set, which is a lot of fun. But man, it is just very disappointing not to have another body to be able to display both of them. I'm leaning at probably making a full-size Cornholio, just standing there, just hanging out, and then have Beavis and Butthead on the couch. I think that's what I'm going to have to do for my collection. Your mileage may vary what you really want to do with these guys, but I think that's where I'm leaning to do, and I think that makes the most sense in this situation here. But man, it would have been great to have a double up set. And how do you go about getting another set? You don't. It's just really impossible. I wish they would sell an extra one off to the side. That would be great. You know, sell it for 20 bucks, whatever that body is, just to give you the option if you want it. Obviously, when you're pre-ordering this, you saw everything that was included. I'm sure I did at the time. I'm sure I was upset about it at the time. Is what it is here. But regardless of that, that is the biggest fault here. This is pretty darn cool. If you want some representation in your action figure collection of Beavis and Butthead like I do, you're not going to track down all these different things over the years. This is a one and done set right here for me. Now, saying that, I wouldn't mind some of the ancillary characters. It would be kind of cool to have some of those. Get Mr. Anderson, teachers. There'd be a lot of people that could add to this. But I think this is a great place to stop. This is a great representation of Beavis and Butthead. Just have this on the shelf. Just the memories of the past. And I guess currently, as they do have a TV show right now, pretty much everything you could want in this set outside of the extra body for Butthead. So there it is, Beavis and Butthead Mondo. Be very interested to hear your thoughts on this set. Did you pick it up? Is this something you need in your collection? Long game, no game, hard pass game, could care less game? Let me know in the comments down below. You made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you on Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. Your best way to support the channel. You get early access to videos like this, early access to my podcast, glamour shots, Q&As, you name it, giveaways even. Check out the Kyle Peterson Patreon channel. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com, which is the name of my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show, each and every Tuesday wherever podcasts are found with videocast on YouTube. So for Beavis and Butthead and Cornholio too, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
Message from Rob Halford of Judas Priest.
Step on the red, cross on the green, never take a ride in a stranger's machine, and always make sure you're burning on turbo.